morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. To everybody out there. If you are watching these replays, fast forward. Like one. And subscribe. We'll see you on the other side. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, live. Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun. This is the Daily Dish. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a phenomenal day. Speaking of the day, as of the recording and live streaming of this, today is the 29th day of January 2025. Oh, computer, and the things that can happen when you're doing a show like this. Yeah, my name is Rodney Bradley, host of the Daily Dish, which you're watching here. And for some reason, I feel like I am very red shifted today. I don't know. I don't normally feel so pink on the screen, but I seem to be pretty pink today. Anyhow. And again, the one thing that I wish that I could control with YouTube is tell them that I don't want my ads playing right when I actually begin the show. I wish there was a way to say, okay, YouTube, no ads for the first 20 minutes or something like that. But it doesn't program that way on YouTube. And I've tried different settings and nothing seems to make it work. But there we are. So if you're getting ads like right that interrupt at the beginning of the show, I apologize. Not my fault. It's a YouTube fault thing. And there's really no way, because I am a small creator, to communicate with YouTube and let them know, hey, let's not do that right away. How's everybody doing out there this morning? We need to say hi to everybody. Let's see who all is in the chat. Coming in. Let's see. Hanging with Erica and Raph. Erica, I sent you the link in case you want to join. You're more than welcome to this morning. We're going to have a fun discussion today about several things that are going on with Disney, with Marvel, with the MCU, a little bit of a follow-up to yesterday's story. We have that. Been a lot of news, been a lot of breaking stuff. I don't cover it all on this channel because so much of it is like pop culture related. And I'm starting to cover a lot more pop culture related stuff this year than just the parks. It's depressing for me covering Disney World, and Epic Universe isn't open yet, so it's difficult. I'm going to try to get. I haven't even been out to the parks that much this year, and I need to get to at least back to the Disney parks. We've got there's like the Seven Seas Festival that starts at SeaWorld on Friday. There's a lot of stuff going on, man, and it's just it's just hard to cover it all. I'm looking at some of the headlines right now, and I'm like, wow, there's just so much. There's just so much. Tom F is in the house. Good morning, Tom F. He says, happy hump day, because it is the hump of the camel, Wednesday, the middle of the work week. You know, it's really weird to me, honestly, that in this day and age, we still have what is considered to be somewhat of a work week, a Monday through Friday thing. I do the Daily Dish Monday through Friday because it is the work week, and that's what the show is for. But it's kind of strange because, especially here in Orlando, things don't work that way. People work every single day, and they work all hours of the day, and there's overnight shifts, and traffic is always busy. But yeah, it's different. Good morning to Jeremy Heath. I'm assuming you guys can hear me. Yeah, okay. Double check there. Should be good there. Good morning, Andy W. has come through the door. I wonder, now, Andy W., is W your last name, or does your last name begin with W? Curious about that. Braylon, I need to get your contact info because I want to have you on the show. Juliette, good afternoon. Follow the Bradleys in chat. Go and Shogi is here. He says, good morning. Good morning, Go and Shogi. It sounds like, and you can let me know in the chat, in the comments, that things have gotten a lot better at your home and where you live, and that the air may be starting to clear up a bit, and that the rain took care of a lot of the situation there. So let us know in the chat about that. Jeremy Heath, that's me. That's I think when I flew. I miss that. Honestly, I miss not that particular attraction, but I actually miss actual skydiving. It's very, very difficult. When you have a family, you always think, well, you know, if I do something and it offs me, you know, if it deletes me, I'm going to leave family behind, and I don't want that anymore. But at the same time, man, there are certain things that I would like to start doing again. It's funny, the things that I want to start doing start to change when I start working out. And so now I'm into my 4th week of exercising. My weight's actually gone up like a little, like a pound. But my energy levels are changing, and I can see myself there. What happens when I start exercising is there comes a break point where I actually seriously change my food intake. It automatically happens at some point in time. It could happen 4, 5, 6 weeks down the road. It could happen 10 or 12 weeks down the road, but it's going to probably happen within the first 13 weeks of me doing exercising. And when that break happens, then I will start to lose weight dramatically, probably 2, 3, 4 pounds a week at that point in time. And when my point that I'm making is that I have more energy, and I can feel it already And as that happens, it makes me kind of want to get out and do a little bit more. So that's fun. Go and Shogi saying hi to everybody. And of course, my beautiful wife, Virginia Bradley, Magical Adventures is here. Good morning, everyone, says my beautiful wife, who is doing fantastic on her channel. So go and Shogi, if you want to share out my wife's channels, Virginia Bradley Adventures and Virginia Bradley Magical Adventures, we would appreciate that. Braylon, I need your contact info. That's me. Juliet says, hi, Go and Shogi. Jeremy Heath is here. The Bud Files have come in. What is up, Sue, in the Bud Files? Bud, why, sir? Good morning, and good morning. Everyone is saying good morning. Hola todos. And I think we're down to the last new comment. Hola, Shogi. There we go. Thank you, Go and Shogi, for sharing that out. And also, if somebody could be on Culture Watch again, right now, I want to stream right into Culture Casino, and his link is not up yet. So if somebody's on that Culture Watch, we would appreciate that. And let me know in the chat when that pops up, when you see that Culture Casino has posted his link, and I'll get that program so that we head right over to Culture Casino after this. Extra camera. Wonder what extra camera does. Slides and PDFs. I need to do a members only show where I can just experiment more with StreamYard. All of a sudden there was quiet. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming in this morning. All of you who are here, all of you who are watching, we appreciate all of it, and we appreciate all of you. You guys, you get me going in the morning. You get me out of bed. I have to be honest, there's a lot of times when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do for the show, and I don't want to get out of bed. But I think of you. I think of Go and Shogi, Native Hawaiian, Tom, the Bud Files, Vinny T, who just showed up. Everybody, I think of you guys, and I'm like, you know what? I got to be here. It's helped me out that I got to be here for you guys, and I want to say how much, and I honestly don't think I can emphasize this enough, because if I get emotional about it, I will turn into Selena Gomez, and nobody wants that. Nobody wants me tearing up, because if I do it, I'm going to be sincere about it, unlike her, who I'm sure that whole thing was a really bad act. I feel like she might have I feel like she hit the record button without actually meaning for it to go out to the public. Like that was a rehearsal when Selena Gomez did that. And she didn't actually mean for it to go out to the public. And when she saw it, she realized how bad the acting was. And she's like, oh, I got to take this down. But like, too late. We've all seen it, Selena. Sorry. I don't think there was an ounce of sincerity coming from a billionaire, coming from somebody who, if he really wanted to, could very much do something to help migrants out. Things don't cry. Yeah. No, man, I don't want to cry. But I appreciate you guys. I just want you to know I appreciate you guys. As you know, you guys give me as much, if not more, energy than my caffeine from my little Avengers cup here. Oh, look, Hulk disappears because he's green. But yes, you guys are just like the Transformers have their Energon. You guys are my Energon. You know, the stuff that makes me transform and roll out of bed in the morning.
A toast, Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy. This stuff's the greatest.
Tom, now you got me thinking really hard. Which Guns N' Roses song are you talking about? I don't know. I should know, man. I always think of Sweet Child of Mine. Sweet Child of Mine. And Welcome to the Jungle, but I don't like Welcome to the Jungle. I wasn't a huge fan in the 80s of the long hair bands. Don't Cry Tonight. Maybe I'd have to go back and find it and listen to it. But some of the stuff I liked, and some of the stuff it was all right. I was much more into hip hop in the 1980s, and soul music. It's called Don't Cry. All right. I won't. I will just try and help the Disney company understand that they need to make Disney Walt again. Speaking of make Disney Walt again, we have my merch shop. Okay. My merch shop is at Follow the Bradley's Fun Spread Shop, and there will be more merch coming. I would have done a lot more. As far there's so much stuff that I wanted to do this month in January 2025, and I have been incredibly distracted, unfortunately, by just situations. I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but I specifically said to a lot of people, please, kind of January 2025, I need to not be distracted. I need to do a lot of stuff, and unfortunately, that hasn't taken place. Been massively distracted in so many ways by people coming in and just I don't know what. Anyway, I don't want to go into all the details of that, but I'm doing everything that I can do, and it's a massive challenge to me. When it doesn't need to be, that's the worst part of it, is that like people could have chosen different times to do things, and they chose to make their times this time. Unfortunately, it's challenging, but you do what you can to overcome, even in the face of adversity, right? And adversity, it seems like every time you want to do a lot of things, adversity just kind of comes at you, and you gotta punch it in the face and get rid of it. It gets very, very frustrating. But we've got our merch shop, Make Disney Walt again. All of that merch there, that's that design. We've got 56 products with the design of the fedora hat. Logo avatar is there. All of that is available for you. And so we appreciate that. So, getting on with one of the things that we love to do, and we love to do it on this show, and that is we love to celebrate all of you. Like, my way of thanking you the best that I can is to celebrate all of you. And why do we celebrate? Because, like I said, you guys are the energy that makes me roll out of bed. And even if you're just out there watching, I appreciate it. But if there's any extra support, super stickers, super thanks, super chats. Okay. You want to get noticed in the chat. Super chats always are very, very helpful. And then there is of course, super thanks, super stickers, super chats. PayPal is available. Buy me a coffee. I think those links are up in the pinned comment. And then there's also the spread shop. If you buy something, any support that I get from you, membership, somebody becomes a member, has a member chat, or drops memberships in the chat. We love to celebrate all of that. How do we celebrate? Well, we have a special little dance that we like to celebrate with. And if you are a member and you have your emojis already, put your emojis in the chat, and we do it and we celebrate together. And it looks a little bit like this. I didn't even look at the comments. You guys were dropping this stuff, and I forgot to put it out there for you. There it is. There's our dancing chats. We appreciate all of that. Going Shogi and Andy W and Vinny T. I know Vinny T loves the Wookiee dance. I got to do something with Wookiee dance on a shirt that doesn't get any kind of a copyright thing. So we'll have to figure out. We will have to figure out what we can do that makes it okay. I know, right? I know we got it, but I got to figure it out. I have seen other shops do this where they have designs that pay homages and honor this and that and the other, and they don't get copyright infringement. So I know that there's got to be a way to get it done. I just got to ask some of the right people to figure it out, and then I will know, and then it will go out to you, and I will love you guys for it. But before we get to the stories, I see that it looks like it looks like I'm peering almost into the future. I'm peering into the future, and I'm seeing somebody who's joining us, coming back from the future. No.
Doc, calm down, okay? Just calm down. It's me. It's Marty.
No, it can't be you! I sent you back to the future!
Hey, Doc, that's right, but I came back again. I came back from the future. Don't you remember last night? You fainted. I brought you home.
This can't be happening! You can't be here! It doesn't make sense for you to be here! I refuse to even believe that you are here!
But she is here. Yes. Welcome to the stage, Erica of Erica and Raph from the future.
Yeah.
Eric, are you there?
Y'all can hear me, right?
Barely. I can barely hear you.
Dude, like, what is going on?
I can hear you. I can hear you, but it's really, really low. And now I hear nothing.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, now we can hear you full volume.
Okay,
I can
the
hear
volume
you.
was way down. That was weird.
Interesting. How's Germany? How's your day? How's
Cold
your weather?
and
Cold?
dreary. It's cloudy. Yeah, welcome to a German winter. It's really kind of depressing.
No. That's the reason that I left. Well, not the reason, but one of the reasons that I left behind Branson, Missouri, because even nowadays I sometimes think, I wonder if I should consider moving back to Branson, Missouri, because it's a fun vacation town. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. I could still do my shows from there. I could still even report on Disney from there. But the winters suck. That's just, there is nothing in Branson, Missouri in all of January and all of February and halfway into March. It's just, the town is so dead. And it was so depressing living there during that time. And those months happen to be typically the best weather months for Orlando. So I happen to love the weather in Orlando most years. This year, the January weather has been really, really cold. Today, it's nice. But the other weird thing about the weather in Orlando, when it's the nicest weather, it's also allergy season. So in Orlando, my allergies start to kick into gear at the end of January, and they're starting already. I can feel it. I can feel it coming on. And I have to take Claritin every day from like February 1st all the way through about, the second week of April, which is funny because that's when the allergy season starts everywhere else in the country, and that's where it ends here. So everything's just adjusted because we don't typically have winter, but we sort of got 2 weeks of winter this year, so it's been a little bit different. A friend said there are these lights people up north. Oh, there's
Oh, yeah.
lights.
Yeah, so there are lights that emit, like, vitamin D and, um yeah, I don't know how much it really helps. I know out here almost everybody is on a prescription for vitamin D,
Oh
um,
wow.
but yeah, the winters here are very, very dark. It's, from October all the way to about, mm, mm March, April, depending on the year, is when the sun finally decides to come out. But yeah, they're long, very cold, cloudy every day. There's like 1,000 shades of gray.
Well, and you're
Yeah,
up
the
north too,
depression
so
here is
you're
high.
you're
Yeah,
tilted away from the sun more.
yeah,
So the nights I'm assuming are longer and the days are very, very short.
yeah,
Uh,
they are. The sun's down by like 4:30. The sun
yeah,
comes up at like 9.
I've only been um uh, in Amsterdam. I was in Amsterdam for about 10 days in 2004. That's where my sister lives now. She's here at the moment visiting. But when I was there, it was during like February, I think, and it was kind of like that same weather you're talking about, just kind of dank and depressing and gray. Sun didn't really come out. And then in uh in the summertime, I think it was June, I went to Scotland for 3 days, and it was light, like so light, like all like it never really got completely dark at night. Um, like in the middle of the night, it was like a really, really dark blue, but it never was pitch black like it is here. So I guess you get that when you're in those northern regions. But I've never lived that far north. As far north as I've ever lived was probably Missouri, or maybe when I lived in Utah. There are some places up north I lived there. But oh, hey, look, you're on screen.
Yeah,
Is that
and,
that looks like mansion wallpaper?
yeah, it's, wallpaper I got from Amazon for Halloween. I rolled it up and saved it so I could maybe, well, if we're still here this Halloween, reuse it, but I stuck it back here because yeah, why not?
That looks good. Looks good. It looks good. We've got stories to get to this morning. And Braylon Lee says, "Hi, Eric and Ron." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It, it it's really funny because in Orlando, I get a lot less depressed in the wintertime typically. I like the winters here, but you know, for me, it hasn't been the weather. It's been the vast interruptions in what my January was supposed to be versus what it actually is right now. So, and it
Yeah.
just seems like all of that stuff on the part of other people could have waited or held off to some other time of the year, but for some reason everybody wanted to choose January. I'm like, that's my starting time. Don't interrupt me in January. Got things to do. Let's see. I wanted to get to I wanted to follow up. I wanted to follow
Mhm.
up to what we were talking about yesterday, and we've uh, I know Eric and I talked about this on several shows yesterday, and that was, of course, Anthony Mackie. Although I would love to
Oh
talk about
gosh.
Selena Gomez, but
He's really going viral.
there's no follow up to Selena Gomez because that Selena Gomez junk was so fake. It was so fake. Like she's just like, I'm like, you know, it's amazing. You're a worth $1 billion as an actress of all things who does a pretty decent job in the shows and stuff that she's in. Obviously, decent enough that she's made $1 billion, right? And yet, when she's trying to go viral or whatever she was trying to do in that stupid thing that she put out about immigrants, and she's crying And it's such a lie. It's such a lie because it's not true. For one thing,
Yeah.
the people that are getting deported right now are all criminals. Every single one of them are criminals. The reason that they're all criminals is because the Biden administration already knew. Like, it's not like we don't know where these people are. They come into the country. They're not completely lost, right? They're like, we know where people go, and especially if they're criminals. But the Biden administration didn't care. They just left them here. What other administration actually deported a lot of illegal immigrants? The Obama administration. Obama deported a ton of illegal immigrants. So it wasn't, it's not all one-sided. That's all I'm saying. We got Canadian Family Life. That's coming in chat. Says, hey, and Dylan Soup is here. What is up, Dylan Soup? So today we are doing the follow-up to Anthony Mackie and his attempt maybe at an apology, or there you go. Juliet says Obama deported 3 million people. And Going Shogi says if she cares so much, she can front all the fees. I know, she's like $1 billion. I mean, open the wallet, Selena. Open the wallet. Anyhow, so Anthony Mackie makes a statement that the one thing Captain America shouldn't be about is America. which it's funny because everybody's making fun of it online. Oh, I love going to Burger King, but the one thing Burger King shouldn't be about is burgers. There's a lot of things Burger King is about. Well, let's not focus on the burgers. Oh, Taco Bell. One thing Taco Bell shouldn't be about is tacos. It's.
I loved Megyn Kelly's reaction. Hers was pretty funny.
And that's what's so funny. It's like everybody's. I mean, this is picked up by big people in the media, at least the new media. I don't know about the lame stream dinosaur lame duck media, but everybody else, the people that everybody's watching and people care about are picking this stuff up right away. So clearly, again, like Disney had to do with Rachel Zegler when she issued a long rant on her Instagram, basically wanting to off like half the voters in the majority of the country, the people that voted for Trump, right? So then she has to issue this apology. Oh no, I didn't mean that. Of course, she didn't write it, right? We don't think I certainly don't think that she wrote it. Speculation, obviously, but it's clearly not. It's speculation, but it's also clearly not her. But so now it looks like Anthony Mackie was told that he needed to do the same type of thing and issue some type of a statement because damage control. It's really funny, Erica. I mean, I don't know that you're not really that familiar with Marvel or the MCU, I'm guessing.
Not really.
No. Okay, so
not like everybody else's.
No. But within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this is what's really funny. And in the comics, too, there is an entity called the Department of Damage Control.
Oh, really?
Yes. And it is
That's not even a pun, is it?
No, it's the Department of Damage Control in the Marvel Universe is a joint venture between Tony Stark and the United States government to clean up the messes after the Avengers have a major fight. And the Department of Damage Control starts to be is first seen it's first seen in Spider-Man Homecoming. And the lady that plays the lead of the Department of Damage Control looks exactly like she does in the comics. I think it was one of the the actress was one of the stars of Cagney and Lacey, but I can't remember which one. I think, and but in the movie she's made to look just like she looked in the comics, which is pretty cool. They did a really good job of that back in the 2010s when they were doing the movies. Anyway, the Department of Damage Control would have then been retroactively in the MCU since 2012 because that scene takes place in 2012 right after the big battle of the Avengers, and the guy's cleaning it up and Damage Control comes in and they say, Sorry, your contract is over. The Department of Damage Control has taken over this, and it's actually the reason that the guy, Michael Keaton's character, the Vulture, ends up hating Tony Stark and the Avengers, because he's like, Tony Stark killed my contract, and I is out like $1 million in my business for this. So anyway, Vulture up, yeah. Disney is the common denominator going, Shogi. You're not wrong. Well, anyway, so here comes the damage control for Anthony Mackie, and we put this on the screen. This is out of That Park Place. If you're not bookmarked to That Park Place, Erica and myself and Lorena and Marvin the Movie Monster, we all contribute. Marvin, of course, is the editor-in-chief over there. And is this by him? This is by Mr. Marvin Montanaro, written on the 29th, which I think is today. How he gets this stuff up, he must do this like 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't think the guy ever sleeps. It's like he's a Muppet. Captain America Brave New World star Anthony Mackie downplays characters racing shocking about face for Disney Marvel. Anthony Mackie, the star of Captain America Brave New World, made comments that appear to signal a dramatic shift from Marvel and Disney's usual identity-focused messaging around race. This is probably different than the actual story. Where, let me see if I can bring that up. I know where it's at, actually. Let me find this really quick, and I'm going to switch tabs. Give me just a second. Erica, you can do all the talking for just a minute while I'm finding this.
Oh, I'm an ADD land. What do y'all want to talk about?
You're well, that sounds like a good place to go. Let me see if I can find it, because it's on my
You're frozen.
I reposted it this morning. I just think it's so funny that he issued this apology, and then we'll go into what the article is about.
The apology was weird. It wasn't even an apology. It was unless he wrote something else since what we covered last night on Lorena's show. Yeah, the let me be clear about this.
No,
really?
This is it. This is it. All right, so
that is not an apology.
So I posted this on this morning. Okay, I said, let me be clear about this. Mackie knew exactly what he was saying. Okay, and that's my very quick take on it. But Mackie posted on Instagram, let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American. And by the way, this is in response to what we covered yesterday. If you don't know, what he had said was he was speaking to an Italian audience in Italy, and he said, I don't feel like Captain America should be about the word America. And that's kind of the way he actually gestured when he did it. Which is so weird because it's like in the name. So it's about being a captain, I guess. Maybe Captain America is about being like the leader of a ship. I don't know. But, a ship with no direction, clearly. Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to. None of that negates what he said.
It wasn't even relevant.
Which means, no, it's total BS. Did I freeze there for a second?
He could have just said, that he enjoyed playing a character that brings people's childhoods to life, because Captain America has been around for years. I mean, he's a comic strip, character. I mean, he could have said so many other things other than what actually flew out of his mouth.
I don't think he knows what's flying out of his mouth when it's flying out, or at least he doesn't have much of an internal. What is that? Filter, an internal filter. What is up, Tommy Doyle? What is up, Native Hawaiian? I see you in the
Ignorant,
chat.
international
Or maybe he
ignorance.
knows it. Maybe he knows exactly what he's saying, and he's purposefully saying it, which is what it more or less sounds like. It sounds to me
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
like he very much knew that he was saying, like, this is what it sounds like. And by the way, this apology doesn't make any sense because in his initial statement, he wasn't talking about the military at all.
Yeah. It was like
He
completely
was
not
talking.
relevant.
He was talking about American people and American culture. Okay, so Captain America, what the America stands for in Captain America is the ideal, right? When we talk about American ideals, we're talking about human ideals because that's what America has always been about. It's been about a country that can foster the best in people. Now, unfortunately, when you do have freedom, freedom can also foster the worst in people. That's just what happens. Let's face it, when people are free, some are going to make the best decisions they can possibly make without being stifled, and other people are going to make the worst decisions they can possibly make without being stifled. So in a free country, you're going to have bad things happen. That's absolutely true. And I know Erica as a military personnel, your husband's in the military. You guys protect the freedoms for people to be great, and you also protect the freedom for people to be idiots.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's, we kind of have a running joke in the military about that. Like, yeah, you're welcome. That you have the freedom to talk crap about other people and spread all the lies you want. It's like, you're welcome. They don't even realize
Yeah. So
uh,
it's like
how
one of
good they
those
have it.
things where you just have to understand, right? And we don't always have to, but the military's job is protect. Anyway, this is funny. And I'll put this up here on the screen. Go and Shogi says, this clarifying statement
Mhm.
is actually insulting. He's basically saying, you're all too stupid to understand what I actually meant. So let me gaslight your intelligent.
Makes
Curse your
sense.
lying
It
ears.
makes all the difference. Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
stupid enough to understand that what he meant is that where he's at currently, he doesn't see, he doesn't like the idea of representing what he thinks in his very limited perspective this country is currently about. That's what I'm saying. Like, the more I look at the statement, the more I've seen the way he made it, it seems like it is a timing issue with the vast majority of this country saying that over the last 4 years, the country has gone to crap and we want to make America great again. Okay. That is what the vast majority of this country said in an electoral landslide for the current administration. We said that the last 4 years have been crap, and we want, and the majority of people said we want to make America great again. And it's really weird. It's always been very strange to me that the other side, when they're trying to insult our side, the majority side, when the minorities are trying to insult the majority, they always wanted to call MAGA a bad thing. And I'm like, that it was always weird to me, because how can wanting to make your country to be a great country be a bad thing? That's so weird. If
They don't
you're
see
on
it
a
that
side,
way.
but if you're on a side of you're saying the other side, and the other side says we want to make our country great. Thank you, Juliet. And you're attacking them. You're basically saying the only people who are correct in this country are the people that want to keep this country being a crap country. that doesn't make sense. That does not make any sense in anybody's head, which is probably why they lost so badly as they did, because the vast majority of American people got sick and tired of being gaslit for the last 4 years, and it was kind of overwhelmingly obvious, right, that we were. And
Yeah.
so we were just thinking, well, yeah. So the minority of people, and especially people that live in like a Hollywood bubble type people, like like Anthony Mackie, they are conditioned to believe something else, kind of brainwashed, but they make millions of dollars that brainwash other people. We're done with it. We're sick of it. But it seemed like that's what he was saying. Is like, I don't want to represent those American ideals of greatness. I don't want to represent American ideals of the country can be better, the country can be healthier, they can be all these things. That was to go and shogi. But yeah. So then he goes on and he's saying these other things, and I want to put this up on the screen. Where'd it go? This way? There it is. Okay. So out of that Park Place, Anthony Mackie, star of Captain America: Brave New World, made comments that appear to signal a dramatic shift from Marvel and Disney's usual identity-focused messaging around race. Speaking about the importance of his character's race, Mackie stated, "I feel like it's just as important for Black kids to see a Black Captain America as it is for white kids. Growing up, one of my favorite superheroes was Green. It wasn't about race or anything. It was about him being a good guy, trying to do the right thing." He went on to add, "It's very important for kids of all races to be able to watch something and have someone to look up to no matter what they look like, and see that the package comes with a good human being as opposed to what they've been perceived as by everyone else." These remarks are a stark departure from the themes of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which lean heavily into identity politics by centering much of the narrative around Sam Wilson's struggle as a Black man taking on the mantle of Captain America. And that's true. That's kind of what that entire show was about. As a matter of fact, it was made very clear that it was about that, because the government in the year 2025 went out of their way. Not the year 2025, because Falcon and Winter Soldier takes place in a different time period a little bit, but supposedly the government went out of their way to choose a white and blonde Captain America that they picked from a lineup, kind of a thing. I don't know. It was weird. Mackie's latest comments stand in contrast to earlier statements made in the lead up to Falcon and Winter Soldier. At that time, he described his concerns about taking on the role of Captain America, stating, "The fear of representing a country who doesn't represent you was something that's not unfathomable, but hard to overcome." He connected his personal experiences to the character, saying, "There are limitations that we place on ourselves because of our surroundings. And, I did that to myself, and that's definitely what Sam Wilson goes through," which is weird. By the way, I have to say, I don't know. I don't think that what you look like on the outside has anything to do with that. I think that has to do with a lot with how you are raised by whoever is raising you, wherever that may be, because I think that is a shared experience by people of all backgrounds and races that sometimes, they feel out of place. I think everybody, honestly, goes through a period of their life when you're young where you feel like you don't fit in no matter what you are. So you can associate that not fitting in with whatever it is you want to associate it with. But I think we all go through it. That is a universal human experience. So to place it on one particular thing or another, I think is very damaging to society. The earlier narrative framed Sam Wilson's journey as one rooted in racial identity, a theme that ultimately alienated audiences. This week's comments, however, suggest a different approach, emphasizing universal values like integrity and humanity over racial identity. And there is Mackie holding his unique Captain America shield, which is in fact different than Steve Rogers' Captain America shield. For anybody that didn't happen to notice that before, if you look at the shield, it has like the silver ring is actually 2 rings and not 1.
Okay.
Kind of indicating that he is the second Captain America, not the first. So, yeah. Thoughts on this, Erica?
I think he knew what he was saying at the time that he said it in front of that Italian audience, just like Rachel Zegler. She knew what she was saying when she first came out with that interview and it went viral. And I think with the backlash, that's the only reason why he's trying to clean this up. If there were no backlash, he would still be standing by his statements. and people are just tired of it. We've been observing this over and over again. You know, we live in an era now where you can't really lie because almost everyone expresses everything online or things are captured on phones. So everything is just open. It's an open media platform. So you're going to get caught in lies. And this is where I get kind of annoyed with even like legacy media, how they try to spin things, putting words into people's mouths, spinning things out of context. And it's like, we live in an era where you can easily debunk lies because everything is documented on the internet, and you can just come in and say, nope, sorry, that was a misquote. You go to whatever platform that person made the statement and you can flash it right there and be like, here, or you show a video that shows the full context, completely annihilating whatever narrative they're running with. And, Hollywood and media alike really needs to start getting a clue. Everything
Well,
is online now. Everything's documented to the point where you can't really successfully lie to people anymore. And we, the people, know how to do research. You know, the exposure of the lies is so great that, yeah, it showed in the election. We voted accordingly. And what I find really offensive is that I'm noticing a theme between the recent celebrities since the election, from, Mackie to Selena Gomez, and a few others, even on The View. And there is still this concerted effort to continue to spin the same narrative, that was being pushed for 4 years. And it's like, okay, you guys need to give it up, because now at this point, you're not even respecting the common voter and how we voted. And it's even more insulting now than it was before.
yeah, yeah, it's one of those things where you like, look, a mandate is present, and it would be very, you can get in line, or you can kind of take a back seat and be quiet. But
Mhm.
it's one of the reasons why when I saw a company like Ben and Jerry's double down on this DEI, not just DEI, let's say it was a way more than that, like very, very far left wing type of stuff that they want to be involved
Yeah,
with, which is insulting to regular parents who have kids, because it's my kids that I'm protecting from this junk more than anything else. Right? Like, I get it.
right.
You live your out life however you want. But if you come and you come into my house and you try to attack
Mhm.
my kids with that that activism crap on the side, that
Right.
no, you get away, because you don't even want to know, as a parent, what I am willing to do to protect my child. And if you get in front of me and you try to
Exactly.
stop that, you will not like the results. That's what I'm saying. But what
Exactly.
we do like the results of is our little celebration that we have when we celebrate all of our audience. Make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe. And if you're not a member of the channel, that's always available too, because we like to celebrate you.
Is it too much? Too much? It's your birthday!
Oh, this is just the best of us. That's good. I'm just looking at some of these comments over here. Hey, we appreciate that. We appreciate all of you and all that help. And I think that there is still one more story to go.
But you wanted more?
Yes, there is more. There's one more, and that's the main story of the day. Let's put that on the screen and let's blow that up big. And I love this story. This is a story that I'm super pumped, positive, and excited about, because this is a story that makes it sound like somebody actually listened to the fans And it's amazing what happens when a company listens to the fans and then turns around and gives the fans what the fans want. This happened with Sonic. There was a huge outcry when the first Sonic movie trailer came out and Sonic didn't look like Sonic. Sonic was like, people were like, what the heck is that? And you know what they did? They rescheduled the movie for like 6 months or a year later. I don't know how long it took, but they rescheduled it and they redid Sonic, and it worked. And the Sonic franchise is great now, like, right? Because the company listened to the people that they serve. What a concept. That is, of course, what I try to do with all of you, because you are the people that I serve, that Erica serves, that we serve. So we try to listen to all of you best we can and give you all what you want. Well, that seems to be happening in the new Daredevil Born Again series. So out of that, Park Place, also by Mr. Marvin Montanaro, says that the Daredevil Born Again will ignore all connections to the She-Hulk series, the showrunner confirms. Now, Erica, did you see She-Hulk by any chance?
Nah,
Erica?
no, no.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Don't watch it. You're not missing anything. Okay.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, pretty much. So the She-Hulk series, okay, since they brought back Charlie Cox's Daredevil, before putting his new series out, they wanted to tease him in a couple things, so they used him in a Spider-Man movie as his character, as the lawyer Matt Murdock, and then they put him in She-Hulk. They put him in She-Hulk because he's an attorney and She-Hulk is an attorney, and they thought they would ship them, and he had a one-night stand. Okay, and so, oh my goodness, what awful thing. Well, fans of Daredevil hated it. We didn't so much hate the look of the suit, but he really didn't do much as Daredevil in that show. The crux of the story is that he ends up spending a night with her and ends up doing a walk of shame, carrying his boots. Like, he's literally walking barefoot, carrying his boots out of her place the next day. So it was kind of disgusting, right? Well, we now have a follow-up, and I'm kind of liking the way this is going because I'm excited about Daredevil. It's the only Marvel property that's coming up that I'm actually got a little bit of faith in, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, with a lot of faith and hope that they don't blow it. And if you haven't watched Daredevil on Netflix, I would recommend that because awesome series, especially the first season. All right, so out of that, Park Place by Marvin Montanaro, Daredevil Born Again showrunner Dario Scardapane. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm going to say Dario Scardapane has officially confirmed what many fans hoped to hear: Daredevil's controversial appearance in She-Hulk Attorney at Law, including his much maligned walk of shame and one night stand with Jennifer Walters, will be ignored by the Disney Plus revival. Yay! Somebody listened to us. This revelation came during an interview with SFX magazine, aligned with what appears to be a broader effort by Marvel to quietly distance itself from the She-Hulk debacle. Scardapane stated that while Daredevil's past Marvel Cinematic Universe appearances are technically canon, his approach to Born Again allows for selective acknowledgement of those events. I like that, how he put that. Selective, yeah. So you can say that Daredevil is canon in the MCU. Those other events happened, but some of them we are not leaning into, he explained, adding, his one night stand among She-Hulk may be one of those things. Yeah. Charlie Cox, Daredevil, again, trailer. What was that?
I take it the one night stand was something that should not have happened in the storyline.
It was one of those. Look,
Like,
so Matt Murdock's
necessary.
character. Well, yeah, I mean, his character has been mostly in love with Elektra, And then he also
Mm,
had kind of a fling with Karen, his coworker. Um,
mm.
and he like it is true, like his character, he's kind of Batman like in the fact that he gets around with the women, right?
Okay,
But
I see.
but it was the fact that it seemed like the only reason he was brought in to She-Hulk was for her as a female boss lady type character, like a super
I
boss,
see.
super female,
Yeah, no, I
superwoman,
get what
right?
you're saying.
To put him
Yeah.
down, to put him in his place.
Right, right.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So it was the way in which it was carried out. Not so much that it was a one night
right.
stand,
I got ya.
but it was the way in which it was carried out. It was just very, very. It was in such poor taste. So, for fans who were outraged by She-Hulk's comedic portrayal of Daredevil, this is a step in the right direction. Marvel's decision to sideline She-Hulk appears to go beyond Daredevil Born Again. Actress Tatiana Maslany, who starred as the titular character, has admitted that a second season of She-Hulk is unlikely. Additionally, Disney Plus removed the series from its prominent Marvel banner in November 2024, replacing She-Hulk with Deadpool. While Disney has not officially commented on the decision, the move speaks volumes about the company's desire to quietly sweep She-Hulk under the rug.
Hmm.
It's not hard to see why Marvel is eager to move on. She-Hulk Attorney at Law was one of the most divisive shows in MCU history, facing backlash for its overt embrace of identity politics and its dismissive attitude towards fans. One particularly infamous scene featured Jennifer Walters belittling Bruce Banner's pain and rage rooted in years of trauma and tragedy by comparing it to her experiences of being catcalled on the street. Yeah, it did that. It really did that.
Jeez.
It was so insulting. It was like, I deal with anger every day because I get catcalled sometimes. Not like,
So
I
so it's just a show developed to tear down the patriarchy. That's kinda what I'm getting. Um,
oh, far
that's
worse
kinda what
than
I'm
tearing down the
picking up
Patriot. Like it
on.
was way worse. Yeah, it was way worse than Barbie, for example. Like Barbie yeah, yeah. I thought it was kind of funny because Barbie made fun of the patriarchy in a way that it made the patriarchy something it's not. And it almost like, and I was watching Barbie, it alluded to the fact that the patriarchy wasn't like real, because like when they went to the quote unquote real world, the patriarchy that
Mhm.
existed in that movie version was so obviously overblown and doesn't actually exist like that. That I thought they were kind of making. I actually thought Barbie was kind of making fun of the people that thought the patriarchy was still actually a thing. Like that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah,
Um, whereas whereas this was like taking the quote unquote patriarchy
a
very
direct
seriously,
dig.
and it was just so stupid. Yeah, like totally direct dig.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah. So by comparing it to experience being catcalled on the street, for many fans, this moment exemplified the show's tone-deaf approach to storytelling. Basically, what it sounded like is whoever wrote this was, I mean, this goes way beyond the scenes of like Captain Marvel. It was You felt like it was written by some girl who felt like she'd been nothing but insulted her entire life and put down her entire life and wanted revenge. Like it felt like a revenge piece. And it didn't feel, it was very uncomfortable to watch. The sad part of it is I love the character of She-Hulk from the comics. And I really wanted She-Hulk to be a good series. And that's why it's so insulting to me as a fan, because I wanted it to be good and it sucked so bad. I'm like, please, I'm like, don't do that. And I personally, while Tatiana Maslany actually got a lot of praise for how she portrayed the role, I thought she was awful. I thought she was horrible casting for this character. But you know, and this is my opinion based on the fact that, for example, I thought Elektra was perfectly cast in the Daredevil series. So it's not a woman thing, I promise. The series doubled down on its controversial stance by making toxic fans the main villains of its narrative.
Mhm.
In an apparent attempt to address criticism of Marvel's increasingly female-focused direction, what were we calling the MCU? We kept calling it that for a while.
Mhm.
She-Hulk instead alienated even more viewers. By outwardly mocking and vilifying its critics, the show abandoned the nuance and subtlety that once defined Marvel's storytelling. Fans who raised legitimate concern were dismissed as toxic, leaving little room for constructive dialogue. Actually, the show itself maybe gets into this, but She-Hulk actually addressed toxic fans within the show, even going so far as to put what seemed to be a version of a YouTuber into the show, like not any YouTuber, but a very particular YouTube personality in the show. It was really weird. It was like, oh, okay, well, give that guy some attention now. That would be Doomcock, by the way. So shout out to Doomcock. Scarlett Payne's decision to distance Born Again from She-Hulk may be an acknowledgement of these missteps. However, the criticism of Netflix Daredevil series, calling it overly introspective and accusing it of navel gazing, threatens to undermine the goodwill he's gaining with fans. As noted in our earlier coverage, Scarlett Payne's dismissal of the original series' thoughtful storytelling, praise for its exploration of Matt Murdock's inner struggles, has frustrated longtime fans. That's not the show, that's Scarlett Payne's comments on it. So hopefully those don't stick. Still, the decision to abandon She-Hulk's controversial elements gives Born Again a fighting chance. Fans can take comfort in knowing that the Daredevil walking the streets of New York in this series won't be the same one making the cringeworthy walk of shame gags. But if Scarlett Payne truly wants to win over fans, he would do well to embrace the depth and introspection that made Netflix's Daredevil such a success. The real question now is whether Born Again can strike a balance between honoring the character's rich history and carving out a fresh direction. For Marvel's sake, let's hope they've learned from their mistakes. Boy. What was it? I want to see Nina's comment. They could make a story about show. No, that's not nice. Be nice. To yourself, Nina. Be nice to yourself. I mean, you're Snow White, for goodness sake. That's how I think of you. I think of just Nina as Snow White. Sounds like just another man-hater producer show. That's the way She-Hulk was. It was a man-hater show. Let's see here. And what is I know that you haven't really watched these shows, but just in general, seeing the story, what's your take?
Well, from my pickup on, it sounds like they've listened to their fans. They're slowly trying to correct course, which I've been hearing that a lot over the last year, it seems. I hope for the sake of the Marvel fans, Disney is, being serious about bringing better entertainment and story lining to the Marvel fans in terms of Marvel. But yeah, it sounds like it's a good move in the right direction. We'll see if they can keep that up with future projects. But as an outsider looking in, I still am very distrusting of Disney. I feel like they say one thing to save face for the sake of the relationship with the audience, and they'll put out one, good show or movie to kind of gain favor with you guys, but then the next project comes out and it's a total flop and it just angers everybody. I'm not really seeing yet consistency in them wanting to produce good story for the Marvel fans. And I guess same could be said for Star Wars. I'm not an avid watcher of any of that, but this is what I pick up on watching the streams and hearing what you guys weigh in on. It's just that's kind of my take, what I pick up on.
Well, for me as a fan of Marvel, it looks like maybe they're listening to fans. I don't know. I don't know how much Disney has backed off of this, because what they did for Deadpool and Wolverine was good, and the fans really responded, and Deadpool and Wolverine was very successful because of it. I would hope to see more of that in this Daredevil project upcoming. If you haven't watched it, what's really cool when you watch the very first season of Daredevil, it's extremely grounded. He doesn't really feel like a superhero. It feels like just more like a street vigilante who realizes that he has some skills. He explains that the the reason he started doing what he started doing as Daredevil had to do with the fact that his hearing is so good that he couldn't stand hearing this one particular guy going after his own daughter. It's kind of it's when you hear it, you're like, he's like, I couldn't stand it. I listened to it night after night after night, and I'm like, and I know, and I hate to say this, but I knew that I could do something about it. And so he goes, puts on a something to cover his face and his identity, and it's not like a costume or anything like that. But he basically goes after the guy and attacks him, puts him in the hospital, and says, if I ever hear you do that to your daughter again, you won't be, you won't be allowed to talk about it, kind of thing. And so that's why he started doing it. It's so grounded that you're like, you almost feel like, oh my gosh, this could almost happen. It's really good. Watch, if you get a chance to watch the first episode of the first season of Daredevil, season 1. I would recommend watching it, Erica, because I think that you would really like it and appreciate it, because the biggest thing that he does is rescue females from human trafficking, which is what I really appreciate.
I think that's the show weeks ago that Pro was asking, is this something you and Raph would enjoy? And I think I remember saying, yeah, I think we would enjoy watching it together.
Yeah, I think you would.
And I tried. I'm looking
for it. It's on Disney Plus.
Finding it. Oh, it's on Disney Plus. I'm on Netflix.
I know. No,
that's why I'm not finding it. I was going on the wrong.
Yeah, it's the Netflix series, but it's been taken off of Netflix, and Disney Plus now owns all the rights to it. So it's on.
That's why I could find it.
So it's on Disney Plus now. But yeah, you can find season 1 of Daredevil on Disney Plus. Anyhow,
how many seasons are there?
3
in total. 3,
yeah. Okay. And there will be, technically, Born Again will be the 4th season of it. So anyhow, we have to get going and lead you right over to culture. But before we do, we have a big old celebration to get to, because Go and Shogi dropped 5 gifted memberships. Oh my goodness. So if you are Mama's Rich Boy, Jessica Lynn Original Studios, that Halloween person, Emily Kruger, Ruby Hoove, or you have gotten some gifted memberships from Go and Shogi. And that is something that before we head out the door, we have to celebrate. So where is my let's celebrate? If you're a member and you've got the emojis, get ready. Let's celebrate. Let's go.
Too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo! Oh, that's too much. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, it's making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show, I think I would go so crazy.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Erica, for being here today. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much, Go and Shogi, for those 5 gifted memberships. We appreciate you all. Sometime in the next couple days, I will be going live from the parks, so hopefully you will tune in for that. And Erica, where are you going to be?
I'll be here in Germany.
You'll be here in Germany. So you can catch her on Erica and Raph. On my TV is still a celebration music. That's
Actually,
my beautiful wife.
If you go to an X account by the name of Sam Wolf, Life of a Military Wife, I believe she is dropping the podcast that we recorded last Friday on military relationships. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, you guys can catch me on a bunch of other streams like T3PO tomorrow night, most likely. Pro on Tuesdays usually, and Lorena's Spice Lounge on Tuesdays, and her Resort Recon on Saturdays. So it's kind of where I bounce between. And we have our own channel, which we just kind of load what we do here in Germany, what we don't do. It's going through a dry spell right now, trying to figure out what we want to do with the
That's
channel.
always the case. YouTube
So,
is a ever learning journey. The learning never ends.
yeah.
Speaking of ending, though, we got to end the show and send you guys over to Culture. So thank you so much for being here today. And until the next time, we will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Go and Shogi. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, my
Bye.
beautiful wife, for being here. Bye.